Why are the sellers selling the house? Why do they want to get rid of it if it's such a great house? That is a very common question we get all the time from potential buyers. And I actually have a funny story of something that happened at one of my last listings at the open house related to that. So I'm going to tell you that story, and I'm also going to give you maybe a better question to ask, because that particular question, there's a lot of misunderstanding with it. A lot of people think that we're required to actually respond to that, which we're not. Even under disclosure law, we're not required to respond to that. But let me tell you what happened. So, and let me start with this. For those of you who don't know, my name is John Trigg. I'm the Montco Realtor. I sell real estate here in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philly. I cover all the surrounding counties, so if you're ever in the area, look me up. We'll get a cup of coffee, talk houses. But today, let's talk about this misconception, this idea that we're supposed to disclose why somebody is selling a house. So let me tell you what happened. So I had an open house, and I had really busy. I had 3 lines for people to sign in. Now, through the course of the day, 5 different people had asked that same question. Why are the sellers selling the house? And my standard answer as a listing agent is always, they're just ready to move on and take on a new challenge and a new chapter. But we appreciate your interest, and we hope to see an offer. For 4 of those people, that answer was fine. They didn't really care. Number 5, though, is what got this video kicked off. Number 5 got so angry at my response and actually kind of yelled at me and raised his voice. It was almost like being in an episode of Law and Order. And the person said to me, "Excuse me, you're required to disclose that information. You are required, per Pennsylvania state real estate disclosure law, you're required to disclose why a seller is selling the house." You got to love the passion and the commitment. The person was wrong, but they were very committed. So let me make some sense of that and give you a better alternative question to ask. So number 1, that is not a real thing. The real estate disclosure law, that is a real thing, but the disclosure pertaining to why someone is selling, provided it's not due to defect and default, is not to be disclosed. We don't have to share that information, and very often sellers don't want us to share that information. Now, I get why someone wants to ask that question. They're hoping they're going to get some piece of information that's going to assist them in negotiating somehow, that they're going to get a leg up on the competition by knowing the inside secrets as to why somebody might sell a property. But that's just not the case anymore. It doesn't work that way. Now, the disclosure law pertains to defects and defaults within the property itself. We're talking about roofing, plumbing, electrical, heating, foundation, etc., not somebody's personal reasons for moving. But here's a better question that you should ask. If you're a buyer, instead of asking, why are they selling the property? Try asking this. Try asking the listing agent, is there anything that you can think of as a listing agent that maybe isn't in the disclosures or wasn't in the listing that would be interesting for me to know, or that I should know as a potential buyer for this property? Is there anything you can tell me as a potential buyer that might assist me in making my decision? Try asking that question. Or if you really want to get some background, and sometimes it's just what you're looking for is background, ask them this: are there any interesting stories you can tell me about the property? You've obviously talked to the sellers. What can you tell me about the property before or during their ownership? What are some interesting stories you might have? Because the reality is, a good listing agent has a bunch of stories about the property. We've talked to the sellers extensively through the process, and they've probably shared a lot of different stories, and you never know which one of those stories may resonate with you and be the thing that puts you over that line and makes you really want the property, or which one of those stories may be something that tells you, you know what, this just isn't for me. So try asking that question instead of, why are the sellers selling? You may get a better answer. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm the Montco Realtor, and I will see you next time.